forget what I was trying to say. I no longer do what I was gonna do, but you're no good for me. That's why me know send me a figure flee. Me have to take away me say. Me have to take away me say. Me have to hide like a thief in the night. Me have to get out of sight. Me have to take away me say. Have to take away me say. I have to utilize I weeds. Surely I leave her this relationship I'm gonna desist. But how can I face you when all I wanna do is just taste you? I know you think I play me, I play, but soon you're gonna see the light of day. Just relax, don't move an inch. I'll be gone in a pinch. May I feel take away myself. May I feel take away myself. May I feel I like a thief in the night. May I forget all the sight.
Greetings, kings and queens. Welcome to another Real Stuff podcast. Today is Friday the 30th, and it's the last day of the month of April. Today in our Poetry Corner is none other than Miss Yvonne Weekes, and she will be our poet this morning. I have Max Wannett with me, along with Flavius. Top of the line, people, top of the line.
Grand Rising, Grand Rising.
How are you
doing?
Good. Hi, Flavius.
You doing good?
I'm hanging in there, loving it. 81 degrees out here in Kissimmee, so it's feeling nice.
Good.
Okay, wonderful.
What about your neck of the woods? Like Franco would say.
Yeah, man, I am doing fine. You know, excellent weather. Not very hot, very cool, very nice.
Okay.
Very nice. Yeah, man. I'm very quiet. Not many people on the road, you know.
Mm-hmm.
People are just taking their time, doing their business, you know. So it's very nice.
I guess they're preparing for tomorrow when they're under lockdown.
Yeah. Oh yes. I mean, it has become a regime now. You know, everybody is working with it now.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say most people, which is very good. At numbers, I think the numbers yesterday was less than 100.
That's good.
Okay.
Yeah, man, we're pushing down.
That's what you need, man. The numbers to stay down and not to escalate.
I think God about 3 yesterday or 2, something like that.
Good.
Yeah,
Okay. Not so bad.
We seem to be getting the results that we need.
Good. That's good.
You said people are abide.
Ask for.
People abide by the rules.
Yeah, because would you believe that a number of accidents happen, and it was during the curfew, unruly people coming from party.
Yeah, I heard about one. That was devastating.
Yeah, man. I think one of them was four people died, and the driver of the car was a
teenager. Teenager.
Yeah.
He was a teenager.
So I guess are looking at it and say all those are from unruly behavior, you know, no discipline. So people are, and I think they pass a law. No, the new law is that police don't have to warn you anymore. They can just lock you up and charge you.
for the curfew, during the curfew.
Yeah, disaster response thing.
Okay.
So if you're on the road during the curfew, they can just take you in.
That sounds good.
First, they would have warn you, and you say, "Oh, and again, do it again, sir," and whatever. In fact, now, I think last weekend they went to a party, and went, and when they arrived, I mean a huge party, because I think they caught quite a bit of people. Most of them run, leave all them car. So those cars are found in looking for the owners to come and collect them.
I run left my vehicle. Better them lock me up, you mad? Better them lock me up, bro. We are run left it for say you still have to go get it, right?
Go back and get
It don't make no sense.
Nah, run. Pennywise now them pound foolish.
Yeah, it don't make sense them even run at all.
That's true.
True.
Well, I saw them like it. Can't hear, you will feel it. Anyway, before we start off this morning,
I think most part people are complying now because even in my area, I mean the place is quiet. When I tell you quiet, really quiet. Yeah, man.
Okay. We're going to play a song and then, just go get our guest this morning, all right?
Okay, great.
Tell you a true story. That might the mythical night and that one silver.
Wish you the best life filled with happiness.
All of mercy, yeah.
With love, yeah. This for your queen, go on, fulfill your dreams. More kisses and hugs, yeah. And every festivals warm like a tree.
What a monster!
Rivers of love, you're a blind, yeah. Your promise will make me change to surrender. Angel Lord, you're a special saint, yeah. Wish you the best I feel with happiness. From Sir with love, yeah. This for your queen, go on, fulfill your dreams. More kisses and hugs,
Yo,
yeah.
the woman forget to pamper. She forget the woman. No watch no step, she delicate woman. Forget tights and respect one. Mother, sister, don't let me tell you vital part of me biology. If she never open and let them leave me would be. Which one a proud city on me history. To the children I know that could never be who you think nurture pamper and care for me. To the long arm series of maternity, none of the woman forget pamper. She forget the woman. Now watch those steps, she delicate a woman. Forget tights and respect one. Mother, sister, darling.
You're moving graciously. The love you give me is so stress-free. Yeah. You are a source of strength, Miss Magnificent, positive thinker.
Woman of the master race.
My Madonna, modern emancipation. So, wish you the best life filled with happiness. From Sir with love, yeah. This for your queen, go on, fulfill your dreams. More kisses and hugs, yeah.
Then when you are going with your girl chat, you mad, couldn't be referring now to me Princess Black. Well, if you now come out of the poopy back, that the mic say if negativity you would hold it back. Cause there's no other like the female gender. No amount of sex change can replace your mother. You might tend to differ as you go older, but the breast was best and still is me brother. The woman forget pamper, she forget the woman. Now watch no step, she delicate a woman. Forget heights and respect one. Mother, sister, darling. Could I never come disrespect my queen, No, you better come clean. Silver, come bounce it so.
Wish you the best life filled with happiness. From Sir with love, yeah. Before your queen go on, fulfill your dreams. More kisses and hugs, yeah. Wish you the best life filled with happiness. From
forget better woman. After no step, she delicate a woman, you know. Forget tights and respect one. Mother, sister, than the woman. Yeah, the woman, you know. Need some respect, security for surety. More of that from you and me, you know. She a celebrity, the woman. Pampa, she forget to pet the woman. Watch those steps, she delicate the woman, you know.
Yes, indeed. The woman must get enough respect. I can see Yvonne in the room, bobbing her head there for true. The man himself, Tsunami, along with Devon Silva, going out to haul the woman this morning, whether you're going to work, are you at home, whatever you're doing, enough respect. We're going to bring in our guest right away. Good morning, Yvonne. Good morning. How you doing? Top of the morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much. Good to be here. So how come I can't see you and you can see me? Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm the unseen guest present at every conversation.
Oh, well, okay.
I'm going to show you myself in a few minutes. I have Max One with me along with Flavius.
Grand Rising, Yvonne. Nice to meet you.
Oh, you're not Flavius. You're not Flavius.
No, I'm Maxonette.
She's Maxonette. I'm going to show you who I am in a few minutes. 1 minute, you're going to see who I am. You're going to see who I am in a few minutes. There I go. I'm the bottom of your screen. Can you see me?
Hold on. Let me see. Oh.
You see me now?
No.
No?
Oh. No.
Oh, I'm not in the Zoom. Okay. You want to see me in the Zoom. Okay. Give me 1 minute and I'll put myself in the Zoom.
Oh, Maxonette. Okay. I can see her name, I should say.
I'm still working on it, Yvonne. I don't know why I can't get my picture up there.
You can't.
I can't do it. I'm going to have to check it up with the technical department.
All
Okay.
right.
So how are you this morning?
I'm okay. I'm okay.
You're not sure?
I'm trying.
You're not sure, yeah.
I'm trying to be okay.
What's on your mind? What's on your mind?
Yeah, a lot of things on my mind. You know, the volcano in St. Vincent, COVID, my students, they are stressed. They are stressed. A lot of things, family, everything, a lot of things. But this is a good outlet for me.
Yes, I can see because you're moving from Montserrat
Yeah.
to Barbados. So you call it what, from volcano to volcano?
Well, a couple of weeks ago, it really felt like that, you know. I've lived here 25 years, and I think that in only I can remember 2 occasions, one being the most recent, where I jumped up out of my bed and thought I was in Montserrat. One was when we had a terrible earth tremor a good few years ago, maybe 15 years ago. And the other was a few weeks ago when I woke up smelling sulfur. So it was like, oh my gosh. And then I jumped up and was like, no, Yvonne, you're not in Montserrat, you're in Barbados. So yeah, it's, you know, it's been an interesting 2021.
Yeah, that's expected. That sounds like some post-traumatic stress. And yeah, that's, you know, you have to, you know, try to get your zen on, you know, do your breathing exercises, and trauma, that's trauma. And if you're not dealing with it, yes, it's going to keep bothering you.
Yeah.
You know?
So it was interesting because I was like, oh my God. And then, you know, but writing is one of the ways that I work through my trauma.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
That is a beautiful intro. I know you're a poet, and you are. I was reading your bio, and I just couldn't. I was like, oh my goodness, what a dynamic individual. Tell us at the Poetry Corner, who is Yvonne Weekes?
Who am I? I came to writing, honestly, by accident. I was teaching in the UK. Actually was born in the UK. I went to Montserrat and I went back to the UK. But when I started my career, I started as a teacher in the UK, English and theatre. And I remember the advisor saying to me, why is it that English teachers are forever, what's the word he used? Setting work for students that they themselves don't do. He said, if you're going to teach poetry, you should start writing poetry with the students. So I started writing with my students.
Right.
I never considered myself a writer, but I wrote with my students. And actually, some of the first writings that I did, what happened was my advisor said to me, there's going to be this Rock Against Racism concert, and you should try and read some of your work. This is years ago. Like, I don't even know the year. And somebody, so I went to the concert. I remember meeting Muta Baruka. He probably would never remember me because he meets a million people. And then someone in the audience said, "Hey, I really like your work. You could do with some rewriting. I'm doing an anthology. Would you like to be in the anthology? You just need to do some reworking." And so I had the very first 4 poems and the very first short story that I ever wrote published. And it was, but I never really took writing seriously, because to me, I'm just a teacher. No. To me, I was a teacher, and the writing, when I started to take writing seriously is when I moved to Barbados, and Max Renette, I needed money. And writing seemed, and I had lost everything. Obviously, I was starting again. It was, what am I going to do to get myself back on track? So I started journaling my experience of the volcano. It was a journal. It wasn't a book. And it really wasn't intended for anyone to read. And at the same time, I would do the odd, like, I remember the first thing I did was for International Women's Day, and then I would do commissioned writing. People would say, we're doing a opening ceremony, we're doing an annual general meeting. Can you write me something on? So I started writing to live, to eat. And I would, and I was very lucky and blessed, actually, that I met wonderful people who would say to me, "That's all you're charging? No. You need to charge X. I'm going to pay you this." And so the writing, I became, like, I did a lot of writing for HIV and AIDS. I did a lot of writing for like domestic violence, just commissioned work. And then at some point, the journal I started to reshape the book. And when I reshaped the book, this is what it became. But it was never intended for publication. It was always something that I was doing for my therapy, for my
your
healing.
personal, I got that. Wow. I don't know if you mentioned that. Do we know that you're a doctor as well?
Oh, well, yeah. But
no big deal, Yvonne.
It's only necessary within the context of academia. You will never see me write Dr. Weekes on any of my artistic work. I would never refer to myself as Dr. Weekes. With my creative and my artistic work, no, I would not do that.
Beautiful. What amazing journey. Flavia, do you have any questions you'd like to ask Yvonne? Okay. Franco?
Yes, Franco is here. I'm behind the production and everything. No, I want to hear some of her poetry this morning, actually. That's what I'm waiting for, because the name sounds familiar. Like somebody I know from somewhere.
Yes.
Because I don't know if you have ever been into any pantomime in Jamaica. Have you?
I haven't.
Well, there was a time when the Caribbean Examinations Council was developing its exams for drama, that I spent significant time at meetings in drama in Jamaica. developing the what is now the CSEC theatre syllabus, and also developing working on the Cape Performing Arts. So I would be in and out of Jamaica. Of course, COVID has just killed us completely. But no, I mean, I know all the artistic people I know many of the artistic people in Jamaica, at Edna Manley, for example, and I've worked with them. But no, I have not been on stage in Jamaica at all.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I find it very interesting, Yvonne, how you got into poetry, and what tickles me is when you said, "Oh, I wasn't a writer," yet you were writing and writing and writing. The minute you took up your pen, you became a writer. So that's beautiful.
That is so fun. That is so. But I remember someone saying to me, "Oh, you're not a poet. You should stick to prose and drama." I remember discussing this with Kamal Brathwaite. In fact, Kamal Brathwaite has the most beautiful preface in my book, and if it were not for him, I would not have written, because he kept saying. In fact, when we met, it was after I had heard him doing a reading about the loss of his library in Jamaica as a result of Gilbert. And I remember saying to someone, "I'd love to meet Kamal Brathwaite." And the person introduced me, and we had lunch, and he said, "So when are you going to write about Volcano?" And I said, "No, man, I'm not going to do that." And he was the one who kept saying, "Well, Yvonne, you have to write." And he made, and so my journaling, and then for about 3 or 4 years, he said, "So the book is not finished?" And I would say, "Well, I haven't written for 6 months." He said, "You need to get back at it." So I sent the book to him. And then he said, "You need to enter this for a competition." No. And I was like, "I'm not ready." And he's like, "You need to let go of this book." And even after I won the competition, I was still reluctant to publish, because I felt my son, who is an integral part of my narrative, by then he was no longer a 10, 11, 12, 13-year-old child. He was a young man. And I remember the publisher approaching me, and I said, "You know what? I'm going to let my son read it first," because he had never read it. And if he is comfortable, because he was then, I think he would have been maybe 18 by then. I said, if he is comfortable with, because it's a memoir.
Yes.
Right. So once he's comfortable, then I will for sure allow you to publish the book. But it was a lot of hesitancy on my part, because it's a personal story about my journey from the first eruption in 95 to my settling in Barbados. And it covers my 8th year of the 95 right through my first 8 years of dealing with the volcanic crisis. And Kamal was an inspiration and a mentor to me at that time.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So are you going to tickle our ears with a little bit of sorry, Franco, go ahead, dear.
No, I also heard that he's a manager as well. How true is that? normally,
to be honest with you, Franco,
normally to be the other way around.
When Kamal died, I thought the rug had been pulled from underneath me, because even when I was writing Nomad, I would send him the work. I remember the title of Nomad. It was something like Fragments of Something. And Kamal wrote me this long email asking me what fragment I talking about, what little bits I talking about. And he said, no, he didn't like that title. He didn't like it.
Okay.
And then sometime later, I remember sending him about 12 poems. And he wrote back, this work is the love and lover of Volcano, which is the first book. And just that simple comment gave me confidence, because I don't find poetry easy, and I still think of myself as a artist first. Everything else is acting, directing, writing. That's not who I am. I'm an artist first, and I needed to continue to work on my craft. So I see that I'm still working on my craft and would continue. So I didn't replace Kamal, but I work with an amazing editor who looks at my work and he calls a spade a spade. Mm-hmm. He does not allow me to have any cliche, the punctuate. He just says, Yvonne, better word. And I say, let me go back at it. And that's very useful.
That's good. That's really good. We have someone in the chat room. Francine says, she wants to hear you. She loves poetry. She wants to hear a piece. Okay. So I'll read from my new work because it's 11:27 already. And this is from a new collection. I've been very blessed to have amazing teachers. And so one of my teachers, who's Sir Howard Fergus, who's a Montreal and a very big writer, who taught me, we have a collection that's coming out that we did together. So it's like a dialogue between my former teacher from 1967, 68, and myself. And we're both from Montserrat. So I'm going to read I'll read one of the pieces. The book should be out at the end of May, actually. And it's called Pandemic. It's called Pandemic Moments, and it's the two of us almost in a dialogue with our poetry. This might appeal particularly to those of us who live alone or who are single. It's called Isolation. And for nearly 3 months, not a word, not a sound, days roll into one another, not a loud music coming from across the plantation, not a psst, my sexy friend, as you walk past a building site, them just standing them done. Everything just gone to waste. Not a phone call, not a empty promise asking you, I could pass by you. Sweet girl, you want to drink with me? Not a sign of life. Everything just popped down just so. Cars on the street barely moving. No bus ain't crawling. Ain't partying. No liming. Not a man ain't hollering for you on the road. Not a man ain't blow you not even a dry kiss. Not a man ain't check for you. Curfew, don't stop. All of that. Everything just still. Except for the single lines winding around the food shops. 'Cause we need loaves and fish for the holy days are coming. It was like the end of romance. And all you had for company was your Bible open on the same page. He is coming out to lay your land waste. Computer buzzing, phone pinging, the next case, the next death, coming at you in the desolate bed. And some of us could hear we own lives echoing in the silence, in the emptiness. That's isolation. Wow, you left me speechless.
But I think it's something that we can relate to, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I think that for me, the mental health of everyone is in jeopardy, is at stake.
Yeah.
Because there are gonna be some people who absolutely have no one at all.
Yeah.
And even when you have people, you're still in isolation, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You were saying something, Franco? Wow, I was blown away.
No. I was saying some people don't even like to be isolated, but I think it's part of your life that you have to accept. Sometimes you need some quiet moments to sit down and meditate, because sometimes you have to back off from the busyness of the day activity to catch yourself, catch a breath. As Ansel would say, breathe deeply.
I agree, but I mean, that's good and necessary, especially again for your mental health. Mental illness is a big topic for me too, Yvonne. So when that poem touched me so deeply because it resonated with me because this is life. This is what life has become. And being alone, I'm a loner. I mean, I live with family, but I'm normally a loner, and I miss being alone. So I understand, Franco, but the pandemic is different than voluntarily being isolated or alone than being forced to. Big difference.
Yeah, that's true.
What is interesting is that I do live alone, but my son and his wife and family live literally underneath me. So, and my grandchildren then have no behavior. They just come up whenever they feel like, right? But I was in quarantine after visiting my mom, who was very ill in London. And that quarantine nearly freaked me out. And I'd love to share this poem with you because I think we need to remember that even though I personally enjoy living alone, I personally love my own company, and I love to just go on the beach and watch the sea and go in the water and just give thanks, and I feel very blessed, you know. That quarantine and living alone are not the same thing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's right.
That's
Two
true.
different
Two different brothers. Two different brothers.
Yeah. So I've written something, if I could share it with you, if you'd like me to share it with you.
Please.
Because I learned a lot of lessons from quarantine. So I have a series of poems about lessons I learned, but have to do with family. Yeah, this one is the final lesson. Living alone, it's a very simple poem. Living alone, I thought that quarantine would be simple enough. So what's the few days out of one's life? And then I learnt in the stink of a sanitized room, sterile walls, green centipede crawling across the floor, there is a silence that cuts between the soul and the spirit and the bone and the marrow, forcing you to confront yourself. And it is a terror.
Wow.
Let me ask
That's reality.
Let me ask you something, Yvonne, about the COVID in its present states right now. I know Barbados pretty much have the numbers are low, relatively low, right? But the whole country is shut down, basically. Not much things going on.
We've been reopening in phases. We were shut down. And let me tell you, the artistic community have been hurt.
They're bleeding.
Oh, yeah.
Entertainment, dead.
Worldwide, they're
Dead. Yeah.
Bleeding. I mean, my son has an arts entertainment company. He not get no work since January.
Yep.
You know, my daughter now has an art school. Went online. As soon as you went online, you lost 60% of your clients. You're reopening now because there's a reopening, but then people don't have no job. People who do earn money are like, okay, there's no consumer confidence. So you're thinking, well, my daughter used to do 5 classes. She used to do ballet. She used to do ballet, modern, drama, and vocal. But you know what? I only going to do 1 or 2 because you don't know what's happening in the future. And that really, really hurt us. So for me, it's always how can my art really reflect what's going on, but not just to reflect, but to get us to think more deeply about what kind of world are we moving into now? What kind of relationships? It is, no matter how much you love your own company, touching is part of how we are created.
True.
We're created to touch, you know?
That's right.
So it is, and we're living on Zoom. Now, I would much prefer to get on a flight and come to Jamaica for a week and do a live thing and go along. Now we're on Zoom. And that Zoom, boy.
Zoom making all the money.
You know, and we don't own those platforms.
No.
You know, we don't own our own platforms. So all the licenses and everything is going back out to these people.
Yeah.
That's right.
And that bothers me.
Yeah, that's true. You know what's funny? it's funny me saying this because I get my inspiration in the morning when I'm in the shower. Yeah, that's where I do my morning devotion, everything in the shower. And this morning I was coming out and I was thinking, man, I haven't done any work within 1 year. I don't play no music. I used to be every Saturday I'll be in the mall playing. And I'm thinking, I have to find another way that if in case there might be a World War 4 or 3, you say 3 or 4, I can survive. Because the pandemic already showed me that I have to come up with another way to make money. Because I'm in the entertainment as well. So, everybody's bleeding. Some are a little bit fortunate. Some are a little bit fortunate because they can go certain places to perform, but not the grassroots. The grassroots are really bleeding.
Well, the advice I've given my son and his wife was to so the train has stopped. Right. The train has stopped, and the next train, you don't know which platform it's coming. You don't know what time it's coming. But you can lay the tracks for this train that have to come back. It may not come in this. It may not come at the same platform. And so, what I had invested in a good camera. Never learned to do photography nor videography. I'm one of them people that feel I must learn something new every year. Did not. Right. The camera was sitting down. And last year, April, I says to my son, I got this expensive camera here, you better learn to use it. And let me tell you, he learned to do videography, he learned to do photography, he learned how to do editing. A friend of mine sent him all the software, and he actually did some work for free for me. He sent it out, and the next thing, he was getting phone call. We have a documentary, can you come and work at the museum, do a museum thing for us? There's a project, do you want to apply for funding to do your films? So he actually converted some of my poems to film.
That's good.
Right? Okay. And so he is getting work, so once upon a time I used to have to call people to do photography for me. I ain't calling nobody now. I say I will pay them 300. I ain't gonna pay you 150.
That's right.
You give
videography, I have to pay that person 4,000. I can pay you 2.
Okay.
Right.
Because I have my own projects. I mean, apart from the fact I lecture at UWI, as I said, I do a lot of other work because that's what I do a lot of work as an artist. Whether it's on stage, which I very rarely do, because I can't learn lines no more. I try to do as much work as possible as an artist. And when the funding come, I tell them plain, my daughter-in-law does website building because she learned that during COVID. My daughter-in-law know how to do graphics and flyers and everything. So I pay she. Right? And as Caribbean people, we got to learn to pay. We got to learn to pull we own people together.
Yes,
right?
That's right.
There are groups of people that all the money stay in the family. So if you have to do one takeaway from this, right? The money must stay in the family. So I don't have to hire no videographer no more when my son got
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
What do you tell your students, about, how to prepare themselves for during the pandemic?
I think that first of all, they have to be multitasked. So my son is actually a lighting designer, but he also did arts education at the master's level. So he's a teacher. Okay. But he teaches part-time. So I tell him, make sure you can do everything. I tell my students, make sure you can do everything. Because if the virtual is it, then learn to do videography, photography, editing. When I was trying to build my website, I shopped around, and one person, very good person, she charged me money, and I said to my daughter-in-law, I could pay that same money. I said, learn how to do a website. So I think for me, I've never depended on one stream of income, because let's be honest, I'm a person that lost everything in the Monserrate volcano. I came here with just this.
That's right.
And I converted this to a number of different things. in order to build a life for myself and my son. So, and I don't think, so COVID is maybe teaching us that. All of us who are comfortable, we can't be comfortable no more.
That's right. True. Yeah. Do you have, Yvonne, do you have any more poetry you want to share with us?
Before she starts to say any more, I want to ask her a question. Because listening to her, you can basically do a short film from Montserrat to Barbados. You know, how would you put that into perspective?
Well, to be honest, last year was the 25th anniversary of the Montserrat volcano. And I did a lecture at the university, academic lecture. And what was interesting was there were some Montserratians who, like me, have moved here because of the volcano. And there was a sense that there was unresolved issues, unresolved matters, unresolved feelings. So one of the things that we discussed only this week, there are about 15 of us, there may be more, but there are 15 of us who have a Montserrat group. We decided we'd do a documentary to deal with that post-traumatic stress. Because some people were very, very freaked out. I felt like I was good compared to some other of the Montserratians that I know. I felt I was very good. Yeah. So we're trying to, that is one of the things that we have. And we have all of the resources. We have, you know, my son who can do documentary. We have me as a writer. We have a psychiatrist who is a member of the group to kind of navigate the conversation. We have people that can access funding because they work for regional and international agencies within the group. And so that's one of the things that I was asked last year, what next? And then, you know, I didn't really respond. But now that the St. Vincent situation is here and we're recognizing, you know, a friend of mine in Montserrat said there are many, many Montserratians who are freaking out since St. Vincent erupted, who are crying, who are talking about what happened. So there's this unresolved psychosocial issues for a lot of Montserratians that has to be dealt with. And so I'm hoping the next time you speak to me, that's a project that would be at least beginning to be crafted.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Wow. So, what you got over there in that beautiful book of yours?
Do you want me to read from Volcano, or would you like
from the collection, the Volcano? I want to hear some more from that collection of yours.
Right. So this is a memoir. It's not poetry. It's prose, and I'm just going to read from one extract. So my maternal grandmother features a lot in my work because she was interesting character. But when the volcano erupted, we felt it was better for her to return to London where her children were. She had my mom and another daughter.
Right.
And so I'm just going to read that incident, which ended up in an eruption. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So it's the morning that my grandmother is traveling back to England. I get up really early in the morning to drive to the north to pick her up and get her organized for traveling. I really think that this is the best thing for her since most of the family is in England. But as my son gives his great-grandmother a farewell hug and she leaves, my grandmother in a wheelchair, all my grandmother's words seem to turn in the wheels of that chair and echo in my head. At the point where they go through the door of departure, I remember the shelling peas with her on her steps. I remember the piece of pumpkin and the breadfruit and the few green banana that she saved for me in case me come out. I remember all the meals she made me carry to dark women in faded flowered dresses who had no teeth. I remember the walking stick she hit me with one day. I remember how she called me at 4 a.m. to listen to some radio program about spiritual healing. I remember the story she told me about her pupa and her mama, about the old house where she was born, and about her older sister, now dead. I remember the prayer she taught my son, and her childhood stories, in which she told us that she had to work like a mule, how when my mother was born, she was a beautiful golden baby, and how she later turned out to be lazy and not like to work. I remember all the stories she told me. I remember when I tried to plait her hair, the one and only time she ever asked me to do it, and she tell me how my hand too hard. I remember how she showed me how to pick the right aniseed and fever grass bush to make some tea. She showed me how to hold the crochet needle so that I didn't look like a monkey firing a gun. How she made me drive to town, drive to the north to take her to church, just to show everybody in the village that her granddaughter had a new car. And how she correct me every time I try to speak dialect, because you is a big school teacher at the grammar school. And I remember how she told me that she can't reach heaven on account of Hitler, the name that she called her husband. And as she goes through this departure gate, all of her stories come to me. My son, I look at the mountain's still there, disturbing the leaves, the trees, the flower, the sea, the animals. But the mountain, she cannot take away those stories, no matter how hard she tries. My whole day is full of those stories, and I begin to share them with my son. It is lunchtime, and we are driving home for lunch, and I see a huge pyroclastic flow, followed by a huge ash cloud. We have become so accustomed to seeing them that I stop at the hotel, get out of the car to watch with my son in fascination. That was a mistake. In no time at all, the cloud is overhead. We jump in the car and reverse to drive in the opposite direction. I am sure that I can outdrive the ash, but I cannot. I stop and I pull into my friend's driveway, pulling Nathan out of the car, and I run into the house. We run straight into the bedroom at the back of the house. Suddenly there is a darkness like the end of the earth. Darkness while the world is crashing. And even though there are 8 of us in this room all together, I feel a total solitude. The world is wailing. It crashes into my senses. The electricity goes. There's more darkness. The radio station is dead. The phone is dead. The children are screaming. Sweat is pouring off me. There is thunder and lightning. The ash is seeping through everywhere. My friend is desperately trying to close all the windows, but the mountain manages to pour her dark mud over us. The mountain cracks, crack, crash. She mocks, crack, crash. She scolds, crack, crash. She shrieks. I remain still, except for the odd times when I reach out to make sure that my son is still there. There is such a total darkness that you cannot see the eyes or teeth of anyone sitting next to you. I do not know how long it lasts, but I'm afraid to move for fear that the mountain will get angrier. And as the black clouds carry the sun away, I cannot tell if the light that peeps its way into the darkness, into the stillness, into the mud, is the light which will return my muddy island to its old time, or whether this is the beginning of a new time. And in this world of darkness, time is endless. Now more mud comes down. I cannot see where the car is parked. More mud, and in this darkness, I see all of my life's bricks being washed away. My son later describes this as a supernatural darkness. I don't know where he got that from. And when I hear him say it, I am astonished.
Wow. That sounds like a real thing. Your personal experience 25 years ago, yeah?
Yeah, that was in August, 1st of August, 90s. I can't remember now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, some memories you don't really want. 1st of August, 1996.
Yeah.
19 when?
Yeah. 96.
96, okay.
So that's a year after the volcano first erupted.
It's like it's like 4 years before that, in Miami here, I experienced Hurricane Andrew. And boy, oh boy, I have neighbors, friends who run away after. So for every year when this is the time of the year when it starts bubbling down to the summer, that's when my fear really kicks in, because I don't want to experience anything like that again, but I'm still in the zone.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm still in. Well, actually now in the US, hurricane can go anywhere now, Max. It can come straight up the coastline and go all the way to New York, because it happened before. So
it had happened. Yeah, we had Sandy, Irma.
Exactly.
So yeah, I have never really been through these type of natural disasters. I've come close. I've skirted, because even in Jamaica, Queens, in New York, when Sandy and Irma hit, the most I got was Sandy was bad. It blew me right back into my house. And I'm not a light woman. So, yeah, but I have not gone through close to any of the traumas or experiences that you both have. And I must say, being a new person in Florida, I'm a little skittish.
You'll be safe. You'll be safe. You're way up top. You'll be safe for now. Yvonne, one of the things that I'm thinking about, and I'm more concerned about those in Montserrat right now. They're seeing what is happening over in St. Vincent. Are they thinking, having that frame of mind, wow, it happened 25 years ago, it can come back again? Are they being prepared for, make sure so that they can have a quick evacuation?
Well, the reality is, and a lot of people don't seem to realize this, Montserrat's volcanic eruption was not a one-time event.
Yeah.
It went on for many, many years. I think the last explosive eruption was 2010. So imagine 1995 when we had our first eruption, and then 2010. And if you see any images of the Montserrat volcano now, it's not erupting, but you will see that it's still emitting steam.
It's wheezing.
Yeah.
It's still, you can still smell gas depending on the wind direction.
The gas
So you could imagine that a Montserrat, even though the scientists have reassured us that they are not connected, would be, for some people, they might start panicking, like, oh my gosh, suppose Montserrat, because it's still steaming, and it's not like it's wet. It's not like it's not gone back to sleep, and it is monitored every single day, which tells you that it's not completely over as yet.
On a personal note, was that the main reason why you left?
Actually, it is the only reason why I left.
Okay.
After the August 1st incident, a number of things, ash affects asthmatics, people with upper respiratory problems, sinuses. So that was an issue for my son at the time. And also schooling his school was in the unsafe zone. And I think that the school used to meet in someone's home after that in the safe zone. And I felt as a mom that the two most important things for me, which would have been education and health, were compromised.
Yes.
And so I felt the need to leave, although my intention was to come to Barbados for a year.
Oh, to visit.
A year, and I was studying. You do something while you're there for the year. So I was doing my master's, and then I happened to get a job and made the decision to stay. I don't regret staying, actually.
Fair enough. Flavius, have any question before we leave?
No question, but I must say that, Yvonne, your writing is totally captivating.
Thank you.
I mean, when you read the last piece, I saw myself in Montserrat.
That's right.
I was just transformed there, transposed, beat me up.
No, I saw Hurricane Andrew.
Excellent work, man.
That's what I saw, Flavius. Hurricane Andrew.
I saw many.
Because I mean, look at it. The Caribbean, I wouldn't say it prone, but we Mother Nature tend to hit us a lot in the Caribbean. You understand me?
Oh, yeah.
And we really have to do more about issues to do with climate change and sea pollution.
Absolutely.
I went through Hugo. I went through Hugo. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
And there was about 8 of us in this cupboard. And I remember holding my son and the water dripping constantly on my neck, and the roof had gone about 5:12. Don't forget details like that. And then the eye, and there was no roof, and we were in a closed cupboard. So I know, I think we all have our paths. So, when you go through these things, you're like, why? But what I have found now is that I'm able to give perspective to others. I'm able to say, hey guys, but I survived and I went through and I came back. We can be resilient, Right. You don't want to hear all the time, oh, Caribbean people, they're so resilient. It's very annoying. But the truth is we are.
That's true.
Yeah.
Right? And also, we all have a different way of coping. Some people might just turn to drink. Some people suffer with depression. Some people, I became a workaholic,
Right,
and filled that emptiness or that void with work. So we all have something that we do to fill the traumas.
That's good.
I was with Franco in Anjou, but I went through. Well, Gilbert was the major one, and there was a lot after Gilbert, including Sandy. Sandy passed us fairly quiet, but it destroyed a lot of things, But I through quite a lot of them. Some of them full, some of them partial, But after a while, you have to just ride it out. You can't make it affect you too, In fact, when Gilbert happened, a lot of Jamaicans wanted it to come, They just wanted the experience.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's
but
when it came,
sorry, I was wondering if I could end with a hopeful poem.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can we end with a
level the
hopeful
balance?
poem?
Yes.
Let's even the balance out a little bit.
Yes, please. Right. So this poem is called Each Night I Hope for a Better Tomorrow. So let me just go. Okay. Each night I hope for a better tomorrow. No COVID cases. No voices telling me you can't come in here without a mask. No more police knees stopping black blood on merciless streets. No more Zoom meetings that go and kill we long before the spike virus sending we to the humdrum of isolation. And where does hope come from? How long is hope curdling in my belly when all this fear of Babylon stepping on my throat as if the virus cracking with lungs to shreds is not enough? Where does hope come from when everything just dread and dead and broken and beat, saddening and maddening while we piss frothing on the ground? Where is hope coming from when it feeling like we just so cursed, we can't get a break? We so crippled, we marching half step forward and one step stumbling back. Let me tell you where my hope come from. It just come out of my foggy brain through a merciful breeze down my heart's mountains where the spirit's ancestors live and whispers into the songs of my soul.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Beautiful. I want to thank there's the bell. I want to thank Tanisha, Deborah, Carolyn, and yourself, Yvonne, for taking time out. I see you bring your students as you promised.
I brought my son.
For taking time out to your busy schedule and for spending some time with us.
Welcome.
And we ask that when your next book is about to publish, we want to see you back here. We would love to have you as a guest, sir. Just let us know, because I know it's sometime next month, the ending of next month, right? So even if it's for 15 minutes, we want to have you give us a synopsis of, what everything is all about. Sound fair enough?
All right.
All right.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
And so, Flavius, and Maxwell, you can, say your piece, sir.
Well, I was, yes, Flavius. I was wondering. 1 minute. I was wondering, Yvonne, is your book for sale? And if so, where could we find it?
Oh, okay. So, Volcano is published by People Tree Press and is available on Amazon anyway as well. You can buy it directly from the publisher or from Amazon. Nomad is also published by House and Nahisi, and they have a website, and you can also get the book on Amazon. But I can send you the details, but all the books are available online. A number of bookshops across the region also have them. I mean, Antigua, Barbados, Trinidad has, Montserrat, St. Martin. Once my mother walked into the shop, New Beacon Bookshops in London, and she said, she saw the book, she said, "Oh, this is my daughter book." So I was like, "Okay, mommy, calm down."
You have to be excited to see things like that.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Thank you.
You can get the book. Yeah.
All
I can
right.
send you the information.
Send us the information so we can.
I will.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you,
I'm going
guys.
to. You're welcome. Thank you so much. I'm just to say it's been beautiful, so wonderful, and we have a few birthdays. Franco, do we have time to throw those out there?
Yeah, throw them out before. You can throw them out. You can throw them out. Thank you again,
Okay.
Yvonne. Thank you, Yvonne.
Thanks, Yvonne. Blessings.
Thank you. Be
All
safe,
right.
everybody. Bye.
Bye. Have a good
You
day.
too.
All
Bye,
right.
my dear.
And enjoy
All
your
right.
weekend.
Blessings.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
Well, we do happy. I want to say happy Earth Strong. First, my sister in Orlando, Shelly Robinson. Today is her birthday, her Earth Strong. So have a blessed one. Darrington Levy, Milton Griffith,
Oh, I saved that for the last. Okay, sorry.
Davian Clark, and we, just everyone have a beautiful Earth Strong.
Yeah.
Namaste, one love.
All right, all right. Also, I want you guys to remain silent, because that I'm about to drop on you, we need it to be quiet. You know what, Flavius? Go ahead and do your announcement. Go ahead and do your announcement.
I don't have an announcement.
Whatever. Go ahead. We have Monday coming up. We have a big announcement for Monday. Come on.
I was asking Max if she was going to speak about Mother's Day, but
Oh, yeah, not a problem. As everyone.
that's what I was trying to ask you.
Oh,
We
okay.
can do it another way.
Okay.
We can do it another way. Yeah.
Tell them about
We can
Monday,
do it another way.
Flavius. Tell them about Monday. Monday, tell them what's happening on Monday.
Monday is what, the 3rd of May? 3rd of May, 2020 was when we had our first podcast. And this Monday, we are going to recognize, in our 1 year anniversary. So we're asking everybody to join us. We're trying to get the whole team in studio so we can, we can have discussions about the year past. So Monday is a very special day for us and for you too.
Yep. And make sure you tell your friends. We're gonna send out a Zoom link, right? So we're gonna have a lot of people in the Zoom as well, and also in the YouTube chat room. And we want you to share the thing. We want you to subscribe as well. Subscribe. I have this for this morning from Ansel Lee. So I want to just drop it before we get out of here.
Breathe deeply, sweetly into today's blessings. Breathe deeply, explosive energies to deliver the good day. Breathe deeply, generating precious experiences today.
Yeah, there it is. Breathe deeply from the man himself, Ansel Lee.
Yes.
All right, so let me get back Max Wanette in the room with me. So yes, remember Monday we have our first podcast anniversary and big things are going to go on. Max Wanette, give me your 2 cents before we get out of here.
Just want to say thank you to everyone. We had a beautiful show, just wonderful blessings going out to St. Vincent and everyone. And as always, remember that we're all in this thing called life together. Namaste and one love.
All right. I want to send big ups also to Queen Lobafo, who is traveling around in the USA. And on Monday, I'm going to show you some footage of some stuff that she really captured, and I mean, it's breathtaking to see some of the stuff, where our ancestors came.
In fact, she's walking the slave trail.
Yeah, so we're going to show those pictures on Monday. We're going to try put together something really, as a flavor said, I say, dynamic, some one drop live. So remember to like, share and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed as yet, go ahead and hit the subscription button, that red mark you see there, and then also hit the notification bell so whenever we're on, you will get a notification right away. So live and love every moment of your life. Be grateful for each new day. Cherish your family and friends. Bless others and keep the faith. Never lose hope. Remember, prayer changes things regardless of what religion you belong to. Keep on praying and continue to pray. And when they got Garafuna words from Queen Lobafo, and then Tafina to take us out.
You lead us to full. You belong far away away. Ajuguala never buseru. Lida mua, lida sungfula. Lida mua, lida sungfula.
Well, unfortunately, this is it. Till next time. Bless.
All you gotta do is just speak. One word is enough, and I'm no longer so rough. I forget what I was trying to say. I no longer do what I was gonna do, but you're no good for me. That's why me know what set me if it could flee. Me have to take away me say. Me have to take away me say. Me have to hide like a thief in the night. Me have to get out the side. Me have to take away myself. I have to take away myself. I have to utilize I weeds. Shorty, I leave her eyes. I said, yeah, I find you very hard to resist. But this relationship I'm gonna desist. But how can I face you when all I wanna do is just taste you? I know you think I play me, I play. But soon you're gonna see the light of day. Just relax, don't move an inch. I'll be gone in a pinch. Me I feel take away myself. Me I feel take away myself. Me I feel hide like a thief in the night. Me I feel get out of sight. Me I feel take away myself. Take away myself. I have to utilize I breathe. Show the eye a clean pair of heels. I say, been there, done that, don't need it again, yeah. I'm not a master, guess who won't play your game, yeah. To all you move, you off me way to the core. Sayonara, that hot girl gone through the